Okay, radical equations. Radical. Those are the steps. I'm just going to go through this. I think it's easier to explain the steps as we're actually doing a problem. So the first step is to always isolate the radical. On one side, it doesn't really matter which side. But the radical, so that's that square root of x. I'm going to subtract the 5 over. So I get the square root of x equals 7. Now, once that radical is isolated, we can just raise both sides to the second power. So I'm going to square both sides. So I get x equals 49. And you're done. The very last thing you have to do every single time is check your answer. Okay, when it says check for extraneous solutions, that means check your freaking answer. Okay, I don't care if you hate doing this, you must do it. I promise you'll get some wrong if you don't. That's my spiel. Check your freaking answers, okay? So I'm going to plug that in, plug it into your calculator, and you do get 12. And I literally just want you to plug in the square root of 49 plus 5 into your calculator and make sure that it equals 12. Okay? Okay, let's do B. So this one, it's already isolated on the left side. So from here, I'm just going to square both sides. And you get V over 3 equals 9. I need to get rid of that divided by 3, so I'm going to times by 3 to both sides. And you get V equals 27. Check your freaking answer. Square root of 27 over 3 equals 3, which is what I wanted it to equal, so we are good. Okay, let's do this one. So I need to isolate that radical. I'm going to subtract the 10. So here I just subtract 10. Whoops, I don't want to highlight it. Subtract 10. So you get a plus 7 equals 1. Now you're going to square both sides. Maybe. So you get a plus 7 squared equals 1 squared, or the square root of a plus 7 squared. So it's a plus 7 equals 1. Subtract that 7 and you get a equals negative 6. Check your answer. Plug it in. You do get 11. So that is correct. Okay? Let's look at this one. Subtract that 10 over. And you get square root of 6w minus 5 equals negative 7. Square both sides. So you get 6w minus 5 equals 49. Add that 5, so 6w equals 54. Divide by 6, and w equals 9. Now we have to check our answer. So we have 6 times 9 minus 5. Square root is all that, plus 7, and we actually get 15. You don't get 3, which is what we wanted to get. Okay, if that happens, that means there is no solution. Okay? Okay, let's look at this one. So negative 36 equals negative 9 square root of c minus 12. I'm going to divide by that negative 9 first. So you get 4 equals square root of c minus 12. Square both sides. You get 16 equals c minus 12. Add that 12 over, and c equals 28. Now we're going to check it. You do get negative 36, so we're good. Okay, let's look at this one. Now if you have square roots on both sides, that's wonderful, because now we can just square those, get rid of it, and you get 2x. Okay, so you get 2x minus 5 equals x plus 2. We're just going to solve this for x, so I'm going to subtract that x over. Here, sorry, I kind of skipped steps in this video, but if you have 2x minus 5 equals x plus 2. You guys should also know how to do this by now, but so subtract the x, you get x minus 5 equals 2, add the 5, and you get x equals 7. Okay, check your answer, and you get square root of 9 equals square root of 9, which is 3 equals 3. Booyah, we're good. Okay, now let's look at these ones. So these ones are just a little bit different, not too much though. So again, we just need to get the part being raised to a power by itself. So we have to isolate that part. We have to isolate that x plus 18 to the 3/4 power. So I'm going to divide by 2. And you get x plus 18 to the 3/4 power equals 27. Now, 3/4, I need to get rid of that power somehow. If I flip that fraction, you get 4/3. That's what I'm going to raise both sides to. So I have x plus 18 to the 3/4 power raised to the 4/3 power equals 27 raised to the 4/3 power. On the left side, those powers cancel each other out, and you're left with x plus 18. On the right side, you put that into your calculator, and you get 81. Now you can subtract the 18, and you get x equals 63. Okay, we have to check that, and you do get 54, so we're good. Okay, let's look at J. So I have 16 equals x minus 26 to the 4/5 power. Now that's already isolated, so we're good. But do you notice how on the top we have an even number? Whenever that happens, that means whatever you get when you raise the other side to that power, it's going to have a plus and it's going to have a minus. That's when the top is an even number. I will reiterate this in class. But when the top is an even number, you have to have a plus and you have to have a minus. Okay, so I'm going to flip that fraction and you get 5/4. So I'm going to raise the 16 to the 5/4 power and the x minus 26 to the 4/5 power raised to the 5/4 power. When you raise 16 to the 5/4 power, you're left with 32. So you're going to have 32 equals x minus 26. You're also going to have negative 32 equals x minus 26. Solve both those for x, you get x equals 58 and x equals negative 6. Now we're going to check them. We have to check both answers. The 58 works, perfect. The negative 6 also works, so we're good. Okay. Let's look at this one. So negative 2,916 equals negative 4a to the 3/2 power. I'm going to divide that by negative 4 because a is the only thing being raised to the 3/2 power. If there's not a parentheses, then it's only the letter being raised. So I'm going to divide by the negative 4. So 729 equals a to the 3/2 power. Flip that fraction. It's not an even, so we don't have to worry about plus or minus. And you get 2/3. So you get 729 to the 2/3 power equals a to the 3/2 power raised to the 2/3 power, which means that a equals 81. We can check that, and you do get negative 2,916. Okay, you can skip L and M. L, you should get x equals 8, and M, you should get R equals 64. If you want to try them, I would suggest it. Let's look at N. So again, we have an even power on top, so we have to do the plus or the minus. 4/3, we're going to flip that. That's 3/4. So 16 to the 3/4 power equals 2m minus 50 to the 4/3 power to the 3/4 power. So you get 8 equals 2m minus 50, and negative 8 equals 2m minus 50. You have to have both, positive and negative, because it's a negative, or because it's an even power on top there. Okay. Add that 50 over, divide by 2, and you get m equals 29. Add that 50 over, divide by 2, and you get m equals 21. Now we're going to check both of those. That one works. That one also works. So we're great. Okay, I will go over this in class. Make sure to take the quiz. You guys are awesome. Goodbye.